You guys, man, you guys are on fire up there, huh?
Well, you know what? We're 2015's coming up, Gibby. Like people are starting to mention 15, and you were right in the middle of that clearly. And we were just talking about it, that famously 50 and 51, and then swing for the fences, go get Price, go get Tulo, get red hot, and that's what people are hoping for here in Toronto. But I'm curious if you can just speak to what it's like, in the city, in Toronto, at the Dome, when you're in the hunt in August and September. You experienced it multiple times. How different is it from other years where you weren't in the hunt in April or May or June?
Yeah, it's a huge difference. I got up there in 2002, started as a coach, and eventually, managed the first time, and then ended up coming back. You know the whole story, but everybody would always talk about, hey, you know what? If you guys are relevant, in sometime in August and September, watch what happens to this place. Watch what happens to Toronto. Watch what happens around the country. Of course, we never were for so many years. So, I thought, okay, maybe not. But, and then, 15 rolled around and, things fell in place and Anthopoulos, he went wild and the team just took off and you could see it was like a light switch, and it was like everything that everybody had always told me. And it's like, dang, then naturally Toronto caught fire, and then the rest of the country, and we were basically unbeatable there till the end. So it's real, and then there was that carryover effect for a number of years, and then they went through the rebuild and all that, so some of that dies off. And but from me, I'm on the outside looking at you guys now, and you guys have been playing some great ball. Who knows? Maybe we'll have the old Mets. Blue Jays World Series. You never know.
I love that idea.
That would be good. Gibby, in all your years where, you've had teams and you've made a big trade or an acquisition, do you think players sometimes look at that and say, well, now there's pressure on us to win? I know it didn't go that way for you guys in 2015. You guys went on a massive heater, and no, it didn't feel like you guys felt the pressure. But do you think it could almost go the other way where guys are like, oh my God, there's a lot expected of us right now?
You know what? I don't know if that would affect the players much, maybe the coaching staffs, but I can tell you in 14, we were almost in an identical spot that we were in 15, right? But Alex had no money left, to spend, and I don't think we did anything at the trade deadline. We might have made a little small move, and I can remember the day after that Batista and Jansen, our closer, came out and did interviews, and they were expressing the disappointment. Mm-hmm. And so it was like it just sucked the wind out of us, right? And I mean, but, there was limited, Alex had no money. That's just the way that he was being treated up there at that time. And so what he did in 15, he kept some money in his back pocket there and ended up making almost identical position as the year before. But he had enough money, he could go get David Price, his prorated salary the rest of the year, and then Tulowitzki and Jose Reyes was pretty much a wash, and a couple other small moves. But if he hadn't saved any money or kept any for that particular reason, nothing would happen. So it's crucial, I think. This is where the GMs make their name. When they go, your team needs something. It may not even be a lot, but just a little something sends a big message to those guys in the room. Because when it doesn't happen, it affects them just the opposite. And I can remember in 14 we didn't do anything. We just disappeared quickly after that. So, but as far as the pressure on them, I don't know. I think it's more of excitement for the players there. Naturally, there's always pressure on the manager. All right, get the most out of these guys. We gave you what you wanted, but I'm not so sure the players always feel that. But the fans love it too, and it's just it lifts your whole fan base up.